Today, we're taking a look at a fascinating concept that pretty much flips everything we think we know about making mistakes completely upside down. See, most of us walk around carrying this really heavy assumption, right? We assume that at the end of our lives, we're going to look back and agonize over the mistakes we made, the wrong turns, the failed projects, the clumsy errors. But the material we're unpacking today reveals something entirely different. When people actually look back on their lives, the actions they took aren't what haunt them. It's the actions they didn't take, the words left unspoken, the risks they completely dodged, the person they never allowed themselves to become. So we're going to explore exactly why regret stems way less from failure and significantly more from sheer inaction.
Notice the really stark contrast here between the immediate sting of a failure and the slow burn of regret. We naturally run from failure because, let's be real, it hurts, it's embarrassing, it stings the ego, it's just uncomfortable. But here's the absolute game changer. A failed attempt actually teaches you something. It gives you raw data. You learn exactly what not to do next time, and honestly, we bounce back from those missteps pretty fast. Regret, though? Regret operates on a completely different timeline. It's like an open tab in your brain that just grows over time, leaving you with this persistent, unanswered question, what would have happened if I just tried? The human mind absolutely hates unfinished stories. A failure is a closed loop, but a missed opportunity? That is a lingering wound of what if.
And that perfectly sets up the ultimate trap, which is waiting. We constantly tell ourselves we're just waiting for the perfect time, or waiting until we feel a little more confident, or we have a bit more money saved up, or we finally feel, quote-unquote, ready. But look at how this timeline accelerates. 1 year kind of just bleeds right into 5, and suddenly 5 years is 10 years. The absolutely terrifying thing about time is that it feels incredibly slow in the day-to-day, but it's moving unbelievably fast in the grand scheme of things. The best time to start is almost never when you finally feel ready. It's usually when you realize that waiting is literally just holding you hostage.
So here's the crucial takeaway. Most meaningful opportunities arrive disguised as uncertainty. Life is never going to send you an engraved invitation announcing that the perfect moment has arrived. It just doesn't work that way. The source material really emphasizes that the people who experience the most profound growth, they're simply the ones willing to move before they feel 100% prepared. They don't have the whole puzzle figured out, but they step into the uncertainty anyway, because they recognize that uncertainty is the very fabric of opportunity.
Part 1. The 8 Regrets and the Architecture of Inaction.
So, as we break down the most common regrets people face later in life, a surprisingly human pattern starts to emerge. You can see they group really cleanly into 2 buckets: external traps and internal delays. Under external traps, we waste literal years trying to meet expectations we didn't even choose, from parents, society, whoever, and we end up with a life that looks amazing on paper but feels completely empty on the inside. We also care way too much about what other people think. The grand irony here? We fear the judgment of people who are actually way too busy worrying about themselves to spend any real time judging us. We also put off spending time with loved ones, just assuming there's always going to be another chance. Then, look over at the internal delays, waiting too long to start, staying comfortable for way too long, and just not taking chances. Most successful people weren't ever certain they'd succeed. They just decided the possibility was actually worth the risk.
Let's zoom in on regret number 7 for a second, not taking care of your health earlier. This one is profound because health is practically invisible when it's good, right? When we feel fine, we assume we're always going to have boundless energy and time. But the danger is that small, seemingly insignificant daily habits compound. By the time the damage is visible, a lot of people realize far too late that health isn't something you can just appreciate after it's gone. You absolutely have to protect it vigorously while you still have it. And this brings us to what might be the heaviest regret of the whole bunch: never discovering your potential. This isn't about failing to become rich or famous. It's way more personal than that. It's the quiet, sinking realization of never finding out what you were truly capable of. So many of us settle for less just to avoid discomfort. As the text puts it so powerfully, the tragedy isn't trying and failing. The absolute tragedy is never testing your limits and just living with the ghost of the person you could have become.
Part 2. Deconstructing fear and why we avoid action.
Okay, so if we rationally know these massive regrets are looming in our future, why do we continually trap ourselves in the status quo? What is the psychological mechanism here? Well, the text identifies 5 root causes: the fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of uncertainty, fear of judgment, and finally, a deep, overriding desire for comfort. Every single one of these is designed to protect you from short-term discomfort. Your brain is literally just trying to keep you safe right now in this exact minute.
But the paradox is, by actively avoiding these 5 barriers today, you are actively manufacturing that compounding pain of regret for your future self.
So we need a major reframe here. We make the critical mistake of confusing fear with danger. But in reality, fear is simply an indicator that growth is nearby. Fear shows up whenever something actually matters to you. A tough conversation, a new opportunity, a big life move. Fear is going to be there. But it doesn't mean stop or retreat. Actually, scratch that. It's more like a flashing neon sign signaling that a moment of massive personal growth is standing right in front of you.
Part 3. The 10-year intervention.
Let's do a quick thought experiment. This is designed to cut right through that immediate fear and shift your perspective entirely. I want you to seriously imagine sitting down across a table from the future version of yourself, exactly 10 years from today. What advice would they give you? If they looked at your life right now, what excuses would they firmly challenge? What would they tell you to stop postponing, and what would they absolutely beg you to start doing? The source notes that honestly, the answers to these questions are usually already painfully obvious to us. We're just actively avoiding looking at them.
Let's break this down practically. What specific opportunity have you been delaying? Think about that one thing you keep putting off week after week simply because you're waiting to finally feel ready. Remember what we talked about earlier? That perfect feeling of readiness? It's a complete illusion. Next question. What conversation do you need to have? Who are you avoiding talking to? Maybe it's to mend a fence, share how you feel, or even just set a firm boundary. We have to remember that life doesn't guarantee us unlimited time to reconnect. And at the end of the day, professional milestones rarely replace the comfort of genuine human connection.
And third, what dream keeps returning to your mind? What's that persistent idea you keep pushing down only for it to pop back up again and again? Ask yourself, what would you actually attempt to do right now, today, if you knew for an absolute fact that failure was only temporary?
As we wrap up this explainer, the crucial takeaway is perfectly summarized in this quote. The goal is not to live without mistakes. The goal is to live without too many what-ifs. Life is not about plotting some perfectly safe course to avoid wrong turns. Because failures teach you, they redirect you, and they build your character. It's the unexplored possibilities, the risks you never took, that leave those echoing questions that haunt you for a lifetime.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought to spark your next move. Look at your life right now. What is the one choice you can make today to ensure that fear no longer makes your decisions for you? What decision will your future self look back on and genuinely thank you for making? It is time to stop waiting for the perfect moment and just start stepping into the uncertainty.